Hey everyone, my name is Franzi and welcome to the first chapter of the third part of our full browser, full screen Flash website tutorial. And in this first chapter, we'll actually address the XML loading and getting the XML data into Flash, what XML is, how to build it, and you'll see that it's pretty easy. First of all, though, let's check out the end result of this part. Might be slightly different or whatever. Depends on how we do stuff live over here, but this is basically what you should get. So I'll just reload the whole thing. I just emptied the cache, and this is the loader. So this is also something that we'll be doing in this part. And the welcome screen, as always. Now we have the featured work section. And again, if we empty the cache, and that's Command Alt or Option E on the Mac in Safari. That's why I like to use it to test stuff. I'm sure Firefox has a nice shortcut also, but I'm used to this one. So now we should see the loading process in the featured work. So if we click over here, you can see the loading bars loading the images up. And you can see that all the data is actually relative to what we have in the XML. And if we click on one of these, we'll see the relevant image and the title. And also let's click on this one, 4. So we have 4 and the image from that same project. Okay, let's go check news. This is the first one, has HTML text. So it's possible to embed HTML text into your XML file. We'll also show how to do that. And they are reversed now, so the title 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 actually logically go from bottom to top, because this is how we fix the scrolling. And also the contact us form, let's say something like that, and my question. Anyway, you won't see it arrive in the email because I don't have my email client open right now, but if I submit that, it's sent, and believe me, it is sent, and we'll check it later when we actually work on it. For that, we use a PHP file, so it actually gets sent by PHP to the specified email you want to. And it also appends the IP of the sender, which is also nice. Okay, so this is the kind of product that we want in the end. Now let's go to Flash and check out what we'll actually do. So first of all, we'll load the XML. Over here, I have the structure of our XML file, and you'll notice that we have the news and the projects, right? So these are the two sections that are driven by XML. And project requires all that information inside of here. And let's first of all go through how XML is built. I'm pretty sure most of you should know that, but just for someone who possibly has no idea. Anyway, it's kind of an HTML-like tag structure language, and you just need to have tags in appropriate places. So for the whole site, you open and close the site tag, and this could be anything. So it could be a gallery or video gallery or whatever you want. Then you have projects. Okay, so these are all our projects, and here is the closing projects tag. So opening projects tag and closing projects tag. Then inside of our projects tag, we have each project. So opening project and closing project tag, and then we have the same kind of principle for each piece of the information that we're passing in. So title, closing title tag, opening image path, closing image path, and so on. And I'm sure you get the point. So you're actually building this tag structure and then putting the information inside of the relevant tag, and that's something how you would do it. Anyway, you can also use the attributes. I'm just really not used to doing that. Not sure why, though. I've never had the need to use attributes inside of XML for basically anything. Okay, so that's the projects, and then we have the news over here, and again the same kind of principle. So we have news opening, news closing tag, article opening, article closing tag, and then inside of the article we have a title, we have info, and the content in this first article. Right, so title 1 is actually encapsulated in this C data, and that's the closing C data tag. which allows our Flash to parse this as HTML. So any tags inside of here will be ignored by XML, okay? So it will actually be passed into our Flash file as regular text, and then we'll tell Flash that it's actually HTML text, and then it'll read all of these tags. And this is the IMG SRC tag actually for specifying what image you want, and the width and the height and the aligning property. And anyway, you saw the whole thing working in here. So if we go to news, you can see this is the result. So this is structured with HTML, and this is the exact code that is dictating that behavior. Okay, so again, for that you require the CData tag opening and closing. So that's over here. You open the CData, and then back here you close it. Okay, without that it won't work, because it'll think that this is an HTML, an XML tag, and then the whole thing will just go haywire. Okay, so we have our XML file. Okay, it's a data.xml file, and let's just do that. Nope, like so and like so. So this is our data XML file, and let's just save it. And let's save it into our chapters XML, and let's call it data XML. Save. Okay, so now we have it here inside of our XML folder. So we have data XML, and that's where we want it actually, so we'll be able to load it into our Flash. Okay, you might notice also we have an XML loader AS class over here. Let's check that one out first. It's a basic class. I've written it just to avoid having to, load XML up every time I have to do that, because it's quite often. And of course you can use it. It's not, nothing complex. Actually, the same kind of name. GreenSock has the XML loader also in its new loader max class, which is also awesome for loading assets into your application. A lot of assets, so like a queue of images, SWIFTs, whatever. You should give that one a try, although this one works well for whatever we needed over here. Okay, so first of all, we import all of the stuff that we need into our class. Okay, and this is the URL loader URL request, or kind of the more important one. The IO error event is actually for reporting an error that might occur while loading an XML file. And over here we actually specify the path, and the path is something that we accept into the class, and also we pass our main timeline or whatever movie clip is the parent of this XML loader into it, so we can actually call a function in that parent that gets all the XML that we've loaded. You can actually really easily use this XML loader class to load up your XML, and we'll do that right now and show you how to store all of your XML data appropriately. Okay, so let's create a new XML, or let's say, let's call it XML layer, and let's bring in our actions window. Just resize it first. It's kind of big. Here we go. Okay, so if we go to our XML layer, and right now we have our data.xml file inside of the folder. So right here we have data.xml, and this is our folder for the project. And first of all, let's just start by typing XML loader equals, well, that's not okay, loader equals new XML loader, and now we'll pass this, which is the object that we're calling this from, where we're instantiating this from, and now data.xml as the path to our XML file. So again, if we go in here, we'll see that we accept empty, and that's this over here, and then we also accept path and that's the actual path data XML. Okay, and one more thing we need is the function get XML, and let's call this XML data XML, open and close, and let's save that again. Go back over here, and you'll see that empty.getXML loaded XML. Okay, which means that we actually call this function, and you can see here get XML, and pass it the XML data that was loaded. Okay, so this function is going to get called when all of our XML is loaded, and that's pretty fast because it's usually small, especially for this kind of project. Okay, so we can trace now XML data, and let's run this. Okay, and you can see in here all of our XML. Okay, now we have to actually store the all of our information into XML lists so we can later access it easier. What we'll do next, we'll create a bunch of XML lists, and we're gonna store every relevant piece of information into a separate XML list. So let's make a little comment up here. Let's say XML lists. So we'll know that everything that follows down here is actually an XML list. And basically this function is like an array. So you can store a whole bunch of values inside of XML lists, and it actually pretty neatly takes them out of the XML data. So let's use the project, and we need a var project title XML list, and let's just copy paste this like so, and paste it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. Okay, and we have a project title, then we have a project image, we have project info, we have project content, client, media, media, technology, and link. So we have all of these featured in our XML. So if we check over here and go up, we'll see, and let's compare these two. Oh, we can't, can we? Nope. Unless we do this, possibly. Yeah, now it'll work. So we have the project title, the image, the info, content, client, media, technology, and link. So we'll store title from all of our projects into project title. We'll store image path from all of our projects into project image. And you can see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can add as many as you want. Okay, and adding is as simple as copying the whole block and pasting it and just changing the information. Okay, so we have the XML list for our project. Now let's just add the XML list for the news, which will be much less. So news, title, XML list, and let's copy and paste, and let's say info over here, and again paste, and and news content. So we have pretty much all of our XML lists. Two more variables I'd like to add, and one is project num number and news num number, and that'll actually just make it easier for us to use this information, this data, into an in an XML loop. So to use this information in a loop, so we'll actually loop through projects, as many projects as we have, and we'll actually specify how many that is in here. So get XML. Okay, so let's say function that receives XML and is called from XML loader. So we instantiate the XML over here, and this is the function that gets called from that class when the XML is loaded. So let's use our project title and let's paste it in here. Equals XML data dot projects dot project dot title. Again, let's check out our XML and you'll see that XML data is the whole XML file, and you exclude the first and the outmost tag. So the site doesn't come into here. You could imagine that site is as XML data or whatever you have here. So projects is the first one that you specify. So XML data dot projects. Okay, so this is all our projects. Then dot project. This is, let's go over here. This is the project. And then title is the title of each project. Okay, so this is how you access the tags inside of XML. So projects, projects, project, title. So projects, project, title. And if we copy, again, paste, 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 and we'll just copy and paste these guys over. So see info, content, client, and media, and technology, and we need one more. This is the project link. Okay, and now we change that to image path. We change this one to info, and you can just check over here. It's info, this is info. So content, it's content. And let's check out the XML file again. So we have projects, project, image path, projects, project, info, project, project, content, and so on. Okay, so this is client, this is media, technology, and this one is link. So save, and let's just trace one of these guys. So trace project title and run it. And let's also take the actions out of here so we can see the output panel. Yeah, there's a problem with my Flash. I don't really quite know why, and it works. I mean, every time if you use it in an external player, but sometimes it refuses to load the XML inside of this internal Flash compiler. So if you run it, you can see now the title test, test 2, test 3, test 4. And if we check it in here, you can see test title 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let's now also fill up our news XML lists, and I just paste that in. So we have the news title, news info, news content, and basically the same kind of principle as up here. So we are storing all of the data out of our XML file into our XML lists. The projects num and the news num variables are also specified right here. We are counting the number of titles in projects and news, and then using that as a number of our projects and news, because actually there's no project without a title and no news without a title, so we can easily measure it that way. Okay, so now we have our XML ready, and we have all of our information stored in the separate XML lists that we can use. We can pass the data around and actually get this kind of dynamic XML functionality, where actually all of these are being all of these images and texts are being filled up with data loaded from an XML file. And it also works full screen now. Okay, so let's get to building our featured work XML functionality.